Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
The sound of steel on steel rang and echoed throughout the castle halls as it did every morning around this time. Enger looked out over the courtyard from the balcony of his quarters. He could see Lord Colmore Bloom overseeing his three bastard sons Benfrey, Harbert and Titus as they took turns to duel. The three of them had grown up to be the best of friends, as close as any true-born brothers Enger knew. Lord Colmore said the three of them were all well on course to become exceptional knights. Maybe when they came of age, Enger would honour each of them with their own plot of land to govern, making loyal vassals for his heir. Perhaps if things didn't go as planned, they would be his heirs. Something drew his attention. The king turned and was surprised to see Hilario sitting at the edge of the field, observing his brother's sparring match. Enger felt delight at seeing the boy take an interest in martial prowess. Until now, he had been more interested in the assortments of books the court tutors had provided rather than swordplay. If he could now drift away from styling his hair like his Lyseni kin, then Enger would be fully convinced Anasa had given him a son and not a daughter. At least he hasn't used those disgusting perfumes, Enger thought to himself. As he observed the morning training, he broke his fast with his two true-born daughters Kyra and Lyanna, as well as his lady wife Sybil. Their marriage had never been a happy one, made simply for political gain, yet in recent years it was as cold as the harshest northern winter. His friends had been urging him to set her aside for a new wife and queen, or have one of his bastard sons legitimised. If not for the risk of losing the North's undying obedience, he'd have ended this farce of a marriage years ago. Alas, he must grim and bear it. There was enough problems blossoming throughout his kingdom. He was sure it would only be a matter of time before he'd need to call upon the Stark army. He glanced over to Kyra, who was staring down longingly and enviously at her half-brothers training in the yard below. She would have loved nothing more than to be down there herself, but Enger wouldn't allow it. She instead received her own lessons in private from Sir Lister Sevenstar. He would not have his daughter, a royal princess and heir to the throne, knocked around the training yard like a common squire. "The round winner is Lord Titus," Lord Colmore boomed as the boy leaped with joy at his victory. Enger smiled, his attention turned back to his sons. Perhaps such thoughts of succession could wait for now. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, where we're continuing with the Knights of Andalia. We just had that POV of High King Enger II as we took a look at some of his many children. I did add two more who were for some reason unacknowledged, and they were, where are they? They are Daemon Snow, who doesn't look too bad for a 5-year-old, pretty impressive. We'll have to get him a better guardian when he develops a little bit more, and he should have another daughter. Where are you? Felina Snow as well. So they were the two unacknowledged bastards that we had to add in. She's got very good stewardship, so we'll go straight for a duty focus with her. But yeah, but then the main ones who we are looking at, the older ones who are starting to develop quite nicely, is Benfrey Snow, who's very impressive already with that 12 martial and some interesting childhood traits as well, so he could become pretty decent. And the other impressive ones that we've got, Harbert Snow is quite decent as well, an attractive poor fighter, but hopefully that will improve. And then there's Titus Snow. So we've got a trio of bastard sons who are all the same age, who are all pretty impressive here, trained fighter and strong, so he could become decent as well. All three of them are squires as well, so hopefully will improve their combat ability and become decent knights, so it's going to be interesting to see how they turn out. And then our daughter and our heir, Princess Kyra of Andalia, who's 9 now, is also pretty impressive and a trained fighter, so we could have a warrior queen on our hands, as we know, with the bloodlines of the Starks and the Sevenstar, so she could be a very good queen in her own right, and it's looking more and more likely that we will have a queen, as we're really struggling to produce a male heir. So we'll see how that goes. We haven't arranged a betrothal for her yet. We could probably do with arranging one at some point, but we'll leave it for now. We'll wait a little bit longer. So we'll unpause. We have got the gates shut after the fact that the bloody flux did kick in around our kingdom in the last episode towards the end. We're going to let things tide over for a little bit, let our armies recover, try and get some of the lords back on side as we build up our claims on the northern riverlands. The war has ended. Do you wish to reappoint the old council members back to their positions? Yes, of course. My prisoner, Andrew Hunter, is now complaining about his dark cell in the dungeon and is asking for more suitable accommodation that would befit his rank. Okay, so Lord Hunter, we will... Very well, we should be merciful for now. What can we actually do with you? Execute would be a bit harsh as we just tried to conquer your lands. King Donald Usurper, you've revoked the High Lordship of Skagoth from Lord Lysa of Driftwood Hall. Yeah, I never knew why you gave it to a Flint anyway. Your Wisdom and Mercy are legendary. I, Lord John of Maidensgate, unfortunately have to decline your proposal for a non-aggression pact. Okay, see how it is. Blessing on you and your house, I gladly accept the guardianship contract between Sir Raymond and Mathis Crescent. Perfect. And peace with you. I've decided to accept your suggestion of a betrothal between Harbert and Gwenna. That's Gwenna Aaron and Harbert Snow. Perfect. And to the most excellent King Enger, peace with you. I've decided to accept your suggestion of a betrothal between Benfrey and Miranda. So that's Miranda Aaron as well. Perfect. Right, what do we do with you? We've got your son and heir there. I may ransom you, 10 gold. You've not got any titles or anything anymore. We've took them away from you, but you do still have the claims. Execution would be a bit harsh. It's a shame that we can't send him to the Night's Watch. We'll ransom him. I don't think he's going to be any threat to us, to be honest now. We'll get a little bit of gold out of him. We have got that new castle to give away in Sevensport, who we're going to give to... We go up to Ambrose, his brothers. We were going to give it to Owen, but he's incapable now, and he's got no male heirs either. So instead, we're going to give it to Lionel's son, Sir Enger Sevenstar, who's 18 now. Perfect, there we go, he's accepted his ransom. Let's grant you the landed title. Castle of Sallybrook. We could do with getting a better name than that for it, really, couldn't we? But there we go, we'll send you that. You've got your own castle now, Sir Raymond of Sallybrook. Perfect. Finally, an opportunity to abduct Lord Theon of the Stranger's Hills has arisen. One of the Lord's personal guards has proven amenable to bribery, allowing for the opportunity to take him while he sleeps. Shall I tell my co-conspirators to begin their preparations? Okay, we've got 43% chance that it goes well, 33% chance fails. Okay, so we've got more chance that it's going to go well. Let's risk it. If we get a bit of the Independence War, we'll deal with that when it comes to it. It's going to go wrong because it's typical AI that even though it's the lowest one, it always goes wrong. So we'll see what happens. Oh, we do have a special title to give away. I think it was a commander. Oh, we need a King's Justice as well. Who have we got who'd make a good King's Justice out of all these? Want someone a little bit ruthless. Yep, you, Belos Redguard, you've got the ruthless trait. Authoritative, cynical. Yeah, you'd make a good King's Justice. Handmaiden. Okay, Winfred Stark, our lover, can be our wife's handmaiden. And we've got a commanding slot. Let's have a look who we've got. Oh, Sir Stefan, of course. And I think there's... So we could probably do with removing some of these other ones. They're not the best, but we did want to get some of them on side. We'll leave the commanders as they are for now. No, we don't want to colonise anywhere just yet. We'll leave the gate shut, obviously, until that passes. Lord Horace of Cassath has declared Lord Horace war to liberate captive from King Clement of the Trident. Interesting. It means the Muds are occupied, but it's too soon for us to invade the Riverlands just yet. We need a little bit of peace. We need to get these Vale Lords on side first before we go declaring wars. Because there's a good chance that a lot of them would sit out. Lord Belmore despises. I'm guessing Hunters probably despises as well now. We've got a little civil war going on in the Sisters as well, which we can't, unfortunately, take part in, which is quite annoying. But we could try and... alas, Lord Theon surprised the kidnappers with the ferocity of his struggle, and they were forced to flee with his guard when his guards came running. While an investigation is underway, currently no one is aware that you were behind the assault. Okay, good. At least we're not going to be found guilty of that. We do need to imprison Lord Alaric as well. He was plotting to kill us as well as going for independence, so we do need to worry about him. Yeah, he's still plotting to kill us. He's backing other factions as well, so we do need to do something about him, but the chance of us actually successfully arresting him if we try and imprison him are 50-50. I don't want to risk it and then get half the realm rise up against me. I don't really care what's going on down south all the way in Grandport. It's a long way away. I know that the Grandlands did lose quite a big chunk of their territory in the last episode to the Kings of the Rock, the Westerlands, who continue to make themselves stronger. Having many lovers is exciting and fulfilling. So much love, so much desire, but so little time. I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends. He seems to be not wanting his lovers as much lately. He doesn't seem as horny as he was when he's younger, as he's not had a kid for a good while now. Let's have a look then. Who are these lovers that we've got? Winfred, who's 26, Rosamund Sevenstar, who's 30, and Sarah Snow, who's 27. So we'll get rid of Rosamund then, because she's the oldest one of them. So yeah, we'll break up with Rosamund, get rid of the oldest one, who's less likely to give us any bastards. So yeah, there we go. Got to wait for another chance to kidnap Lord Theon. Lord Jonas, Lord Jonas Manicians have Lord Jonas machinations that agonize me with most of my vassals. I am unsure how, but that man that has managed to convince a lot of my subjects that I am deserving of their trust and loyalty. Okay. What are you up to, Lord Jonas of the Neck? No, go away. All these Valyrians and their dragons trying to get in our court. Clear off. We don't want you. We do not want you here. Got quite a decent amount of money that's grown. Starting to save up now. So we could host a tourney at some point once we open the gates, which we could do with to try and get some people on side. I really want to try and kidnap, well, imprison Lord Alaric of the Sisters. I don't know if anyone would join him, would they? Let's risk it. 48% chance of success. We really need to stop him plotting, and the Sunderlands. All they ever do is plot against us. What's he got in his treasury? Just a ship. Okay. Your Grace, for too long, Dorman Wanderers have occupied my rightful seat. I don't care. I don't care what you wildlings are getting up to be quite honest. Could do with arranging a couple more betrothals with some of our bastards. Let's have a look around at who may need some. We've got the Firehands, who's got many daughters who are our nieces, actually, aren't they? So your Septon Danny is secluding himself in Sevensport. Yes, that's because of the bloody flux that's going around. What about the Greystark boy, the heir, Galbert Greystark, who's 11? Let's see if we can arrange a betrothal with him. Betroth him to one of our old god worshipping bastards, which we have got a few of. We've got Alex. She's quite a lot younger than him. Is there any closer to his age that are unmarried at present? Could go for Rennie Snow, Alison Snow. Yeah, let's go for Rennie Snow then. She's close to his age. See if we can get a betrothal between those two. Keep the Greystarks on side, as they are quiet. They are fairly on side at the moment, so it'd be nice to keep them that way if we can. Could do with doing it in the Vale as well. And he's accepted the betrothal. Perfect. We've also already got the Waynewoods and Royces married to us. I think, did we arrange a betrothal with Lord Corbury as well? Yes, we did. Perfect. So we've got the Corburys on side. Lord Belmore. Let's have a look at you, because you hate us. Let's see if we can do anything to try and get you a little bit more on side. You've got a son. So Michael Belmore, and he has a son, Robos. He's a bastard. Okay. Now we'll leave that. We're not marrying a princess to a bastard, even if they are bastards themselves. Your great news from Oldstone's a great trial at court. I don't really care, to be honest. We've got a child lacking an education focus. Adara Snow, our eldest bastard daughter, has finally reached the age of 12, so we can pick a focus for her. Very martial, very stewardship, very learning based. She is going to be married to Lord Hooton. Let's go for the... with the childhood traits she's got, the diplomatic education would be the best, which is annoying because she's got no diplomacy whatsoever. So let's just go for the stewardship education. There we go. That means a load of the other children are soon going to be hitting that age as well, which will be interesting to give them their full education to see what they're going to develop into. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to gamble. I'm going to take the risk and try and imprison Lord Alaric. I want to get him in our court before he goes in any more of this. But it's going to fail, but we'll go for it. Oh, we actually managed to get him. Lord Alaric II is now safely locked away in my dungeon, awaiting his fate. Perfect. We've been after you for a long, long time, Lord Alaric. What quality of education would you like to purchase for Adara Snow? Wow, that's a lot of money, but we'll spend highly to get her the best education. Oh my god, it's going to absolutely bankrupt Enger, isn't it? Oh, and Enger's now 30 years old. He's got his adult picture. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Oh, wow. Queen Sybil's seen better days. She looks a bit rough, don't she? Right, where's our prisoners? Where are you, Alaric? Time to finally get revenge on you. I'm going to revoke the title of the High Lordship of the Sisters, which is going to upset a lot of our vassals by the looks of things. But the Sunderlands are constantly plotting against us. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. And we will... He did want to murder us. So do we execute him? Do we execute him or do we send him to the Night's Watch? I'm going to exile him. Let's send him to the Night's Watch. Let's do it. This was not a just act. We lose the trait just. I think it was just. I think it was very just, to be honest. You have decreed that Alaric Sunderland should be stripped of all rank and title and be banished from the realm upon pain of death. Perhaps the Night's Watch would be a better alternative. Aiding the Night's Watch would be seen as an honourable action. He will be of use on the wall. Yes, let's send him to the Night's Watch. That'll teach you to try and plot to kill your king, your absolute bastard. So that's got rid of one faction. But it's been replaced with a new faction by... bollocks, by Lord Wallace of Sweet Sister Borrell, who is very impressive. Got some really impressive commanding traits. I was tempted to give him the High Lordship, but if he's going to act like that, we'll give the High Lordship to Lord Snowfall, who is very loyal to us, and he's going to be even more loyal to us, I'm guessing, after this. So let's give him the High Lordship of the Sisters. Send. That should get him very much on side, and hopefully that will stop the Sisters from constantly plotting against us now that we don't have a system in charge of it. So now all we've got to do is deal with Theon Bolton. What other factions have we got? Crown Loyalists, it's just the Boltons, and then Lord Belmore, but I'm hoping we can sway him slightly. His faction has got no backing whatsoever as well, so we haven't really got to worry about that too much, I don't think. Who was that other prisoner that we had? Who are you? Master Byron of Two-Stone. Valeman, can we ransom you? You've not got the cash to ransom. Oh, you've nearly got the cash to ransom yourself. You're 1 gold off, so we'll just wait a while and we'll be able to ransom you pretty shortly by the looks of things. Our money needs to keep improving because we've got a lot of bastards that we need to pay for soon. And a city's been constructed in Ghoultown, so let's grant that title to him. City of Faithcliff, that'll keep him on side. Send, there we go. That will make more income in Ghoultown as well. We do have the area, of course, for ourselves. We will probably grant that to somebody at some point, maybe one of our bastards. To the affable High King Enger, the second of Andalia, I write to ask for permission to give my ward, Mage, a proper Faith of the Seven upbringing and learn the ways of the Seven-Pointed Star. That's our daughter, isn't it? That's perfectly fine by me. Perfectly fine by me, Joa. A son was born to Sir Moribald Rack and Asher Sevenstar named Joa. Nice, Joa Rack. Been born with a quick trait. Well, I knew that was going to happen because Sir Moribald and Ashara both have the quick trait themselves, so that's awesome. They've had a very impressive son there now, who will be the heir of the Hornwood. We obviously also have the other Rack family in the Vale now, don't we, in Newkeep, who unfortunately Samwell Rack, Enger's very close friend, died in a hunting accident, which is a shame. Got a child lacking a focus. Alex Snow, 6 years old. Attractive. It probably would be better for you to go for the diplomacy, really, then, because you've got the attractive trait. Hopefully, you can get rid of the fact that you're a bastard, and that'll make things better. Sir Yorick of 9 Stars has inherited the castle of 9 Stars from Sir Damwell of 9 Stars. Oh, what's happened down there, then? What did Lord... He was unfortunately killed at a tourney joust. Damn. So a sickly 0-year-old is now the Lord of 9 Stars. That's a worry. His mother's pregnant though, so maybe they can get another male heir for 9 Stars. I don't want the Temples to go. I really love the Templeton Sigil, as I've said many times, and I like to keep the cannon houses around where we can. It's really a thing of now just letting time tick along and letting things recover in the realm, getting that sickness out of the way so we can host some tourneys and such, and then just waiting for those claims so that we can start invading the Riverlands. Your Grace, since I arrived in Sevensport, there's never been a shortage of soldiers reinforcing the troops stationed there. Under our guidance, they believe fame and fortune awaits them. Thank you very much, Sir Colmar. Okay, the Bloody Flux is still around, unfortunately, which is very annoying, but we've got a child lacking a focus who, Eleanor Snow, 12 years old now. Let's have a look at you. Very good in learning, very good in martial. You've got the rowdy... You'd probably be better off going martial focus, wouldn't you? So we'll go for that. Who are you betrothed to? Lord of runestone. Yes, we'll go for the martial focus. Oh yeah, bastard, that's a lot of money to spend on you to get you an exceptional education, especially when we're going to be shipping you off elsewhere. No, we'll go for it though. We'll give you the thing, the top one. We'll be able to make enough money. I just want to make sure that I've got enough to give Benfrey Titus and who was the other one? I can't remember the other bastard's name. The world is a dangerous place and devious plots are everywhere. Rumours have reached you that people are plotting to kill you. Oh, bollocks. Let's have a look then on the known plots. Do we know who it is? We're in hiding anyway. Kill High King Enger the Uncaring, being backed by Lord Tristan of Strongson and Lord Grennan Maiden. And who is the commander? Roland Hook, our rival. Can we imprison you? We've got a 60% chance of imprisoning you. But that would leave him without an... Oh no, he'd still have an heir. Ah, yes, you're married to one of our former rivals, aren't you? I'm going to try and imprison you. Send. Roland managed to avoid my guardsman and has fled to the court of Captain Aradhor. Let him cower in fear. Okay, so hopefully that's got rid of that plot to try and kill us now then. Which it has. Thank God for that. Oh no. Kill High King. No, it's still there, but hopefully now it will disappear now that we've got rid of him. If not, I'm a bit worried. We've got 2 people in on it as well, which is not good, and we can't get to him now, the bastard. It's going to make things a lot harder. There's no other plots against us, though, other than that. A son was born to Sir Henry of Ivy Hall, named Wendell Stark, who's been born with a slow trait. Okay, never mind. So, nothing to get too excited about there. I want to say a massive thank you for all of the awesome comments and stuff that I've been getting lately on the videos. I really do appreciate it. It's so motivating. It's so good to know that you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am. And our army's really recovering now. Over 20,000 men. That's awesome. Just got to wait for these bloody claims down south, which are taking so long. I don't want to go in and only take a little bit of the Riverlands. If I go in, I want to try and take at least a high lordship when we're there. And our armies just keep getting more and more healthy. And it's so annoying that that guy's still got that plot. Can we ask these guys to leave the plot? I don't think we can we? That's annoying. We need to get Lord Bolton in our custody before we can try and do any plots with both of those guys, though, which is the annoying thing. Can't really do anything with Lord Maiden at the moment. We could try and imprison him, but it's not going to go well, and it's going to be seen as tyranny, even though he's backing a plot to kill us, the complete bastard. Enger Sevenstar died of the bloody flux. Well, that's a shame. One of the blue stars. He had gonorrhea, as everyone has gonorrhea in Andalia. It's the common thing to have gonorrhea. Who the hell is this Kenneth's host? What are they doing in our lands? Who are you? It appears Lord Jonas was trying to sow dissent within my realm using a notorious criminal and forger. Luckily, my network of spies has been able to apprehend the scoundrel and send him to my dungeons where he belongs. After a short interrogation, the man has confessed the name of his employer. Lord Jonas of the Neck. Truly a dishonourable display. The option is available to your height. Okay, right. Lord Reed, what do you think you're playing at, mate? What's our chances of imprisoning you? 58% chance. Let's go for it. Lord Jonas is now safely locked away in my dungeon awaiting his fate. Well, what? You're going behind our back trying to go treason. Who would be... Do you have a son? Do you have an heir? You do have a brother, so there are still a few Reeds about, but you're going to have to be punished for this, I'm afraid, Lord Reed. My prisoner, Lord Jonas, let him rot. I don't care. Right, what can we do with you? Should we execute you, or do we send you to the Night's Watch as well and aid the wall? Would you be any good for the wall? Not really. I think we'll make an example of you to try and put people in line. We will execute you. I want to see him fly. Oh, yes, we can do that now, can't we? Yes, I want to see him fly now that we've got the era. Let's make Lord Jonas of the Neck fly. Everything frustrates me. I've gained the Wrath trait. Okay. In the High Hall of the Eyrie is a narrow weirwood door flanked by 2 slender pillars named the Moon Door, behind which lies nothing but 600 feet of air. The condemned Lord Jonas of the Neck is brought before the door and thrown from it to his death. I want to see him fly. Awesome. That'll teach him. Hopefully that will stop some more factions. No, we've still got Dispose High King Enger, Lord Cold War. Flipping hell, we've got so many factions that we need to look out for at the moment. 13%, and then there's still the Bolton one, so we need to do something about Lord Coldwater as well now. What chance have we got of imprisoning you? A very low chance. Very low chance indeed. So we'll replace you with a different High Lord if we can get our hands on you at some point. Having many lovers is exciting and fulfilling. So much love, so much desire, but so little. Oh my god, he's falling out with more lovers. Got Winfred, Sarah Snow, and we'll break up with Sarah Snow then for now. That will do. Your Grace, I'm pleased to report the majority of the population in High Point has been converted to the faith of the Seven. Oh, very nice. So it's still spreading up north then. It is slowly taking over at north. The recent conversions of it, yeah, it's upset people as expected up in High Point. We only have a young lord there, Lord Brightmire, but if we look on religion now then, yeah, it slowly is spreading up into that land now. There's not many provinces still old gods. Obviously the Crannig men are all still of the old gods, but most of Andalia is now faith of the Seven, which is good. Peasant revolt in the Mudlands doesn't really concern us, does it? And some revolt going on in Valeria, which really doesn't affect us, so no idea why we need to know about that. It really is just a case of biding our time now, just waiting for those claims that are taking forever to get. Mistress Arana of Eastmelt has inherited Castle of Eastmelt from Master Roos of Eastmelt. Okay, Lord Dreadwolf has died and it's passed to his daughter. Okay, I'm going to try my old trick where we're going to recall our Master of Laws and then send her out again because for whatever reason it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So we'll see if that works this time and get that claim on Seaguard. Lord Cornwall Bloom has been a leal and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks in the aid of Andalia. It would be seen as the right and honourable course to reward him with certain incomes and grants to foster greater loyalty. Of course, let's send him a nice lump of gold. Cornwall's been very loyal, as the Blooms always are. We have one more child lacking educational focus. John Quill Snow, let's have a look at you. Very good learning, very good stewardship as well. What got good diplomacy, yeah, but you've not got any diplomacy skill whatsoever. But the bastard thing really harms that. Let's go for the learning education then for you, and it won't allow us to do that. Stewardship, let's go for the stewardship, and we'll spend highly on you. We don't have to actually spend that much on you to get you up there. Aha, and here we go, Benfrey Snow. This is the one I've been looking forward to. Let's get you an education. Of course, it's going to be a martial education, and we're going to spend very highly on you, Benfrey, to hope that you get the best education possible, and that means that your other brothers are going to shortly be following you as they're the same age as you, I believe. They must just be a couple of months younger, so we'll have them popping up soon. The Grands have formed an alliance with the Ironwoods, which is interesting. A shareholder of the Bank of Valeria has arrived in Sevenstar. He's seeking repayment of the loan I have with the bank. I don't have a loan, it must be from the era. I will pay off half the debt. I do not have the full amount, but I will pay the interest. You shall not have a single coin from me. Why can't we just pay it all? We'll just pay off the interest for now. Right, that's annoying that we have that. So the Vale must have took out a big loan. And we have a peasant revolt. Theon of Grey Cran peasant revolt has been declared. Awesome, we could do with something to do, so let's have a look at this peasant revolt. The peasants have risen up in Grey Cran, led by a disgruntled former soldier. The rebels have the nerve to demand independence. Let's have a look. 2,000 men. Let's send in Lord Firehand to take care of this, shall we? Oh, he's not quite got enough men. Well, if we send in the Josso force, the Red Guard force, and the Roseheart force to join him, that should be enough manpower, and we'll get them to meet up in the Father's Ford, and hopefully that'll be enough manpower to take care of that. We'll let Enger Firehand deal with that for us. That should be enough manpower there, I'd imagine. Yeah, it should be more than enough manpower, and at least we've actually got something happening. Under my guidance, my young bastard daughter Alex is slowly mastering the art of swordmanship. Nice, became a poor fighter. I don't know how from our guidance, because we're a pathetic fighter, but whatever. What should we... Who should we put in charge of this armour? Can we lift the gates yet? Because I want to... No, bloody Flux is still here. I want to host a tourney to get more people on side. How is that faction doing? Okay... Lord Coldwater's opinion of us has increased slightly, but at least the faction's not got much power. The Bolton one has a bit of power. Luckily, the Crown Loyalist one has more power than them all combined, so that's one good thing. We really need our plot to kick in so that we can deal with Lord Bolton. Got 196 plot power on that now. It's just a case of waiting for it to happen. Okay, and the Reed army's there to attack them for whatever reason. They're defending against them. Okay. Well, we'll bring our manpower down here and deal with that. I wonder if we actually have a decent amount of army from the sisters now then. No, 728 men. Not a great amount. Harbert Sevenstar, lacking an education focus. Let's have a look at you then, Harbert. Very good learning. Very good martial. I bet we won't be able to go for a learning education though, will we? Even though most of your traits would be perfect for that, which is annoying. It's going to have to be the martial focus for you as well then, and we're going to have to spend Hyla, which is going to bankrupt us. All these children are going to bankrupt us. We didn't actually get to pick. Oh, we just got a load of money from somewhere. Oh, Emperor Dowager Rennie is no longer Master of Laws. Rennie has died at the age of 68. Oh no. Poor old Renner. Served long and well as Queen though, and Queen Mother, a great character. Really, really great character throughout this series. But that does mean... Oh, she died of depression. Never got over the loss of Ambrose then. It does mean though that we now need a new Master of Laws. Let's have a look what we've got. We haven't really got anyone who's any good. I don't really want to go for Grand Maester. He's plotting against us. Let's have a look in our realm. Find characters. Who have we got with good diplomacy? Our sister, but obviously we can't use her, which is annoying. She's not our direct vassal. Wow, 25. It's such a shame that we can't make her our Master of Whisperers. Not Master of Laws. We must have somebody else who's decent that likes us. Viprin. She's pretty good. 18. She could serve. Stefan Rosehart, but he's already Hand of the King, which will upset him if I remove him from Hand of the King. Unless we name somebody else Hand of the King in his place and then name him as our Master of Laws. Could do that. Let's appoint a different Hand of the King. Oh, I don't really know though. We've not really got any good choices for that either, as everybody hates us. Everybody hates us. No, we're going to have to leave that then. I don't know what to do about Master of Laws. We could go with, let's invite this Viprin for now. Invite to court, send. We'll use her as Master of Laws for now, once she arrives in our court. What quality of education would you like to purchase for Harbert Snow? We'll spend lavishly on his education, of course. Rennie's just paid for that with her death when she left us a nice lump sum of money. Right, let's put in charge of this small force. Not Theon, we don't want... Oh, it's going to have to be Theon and Tristan, as everyone else is behind closed doors because of the bloody flux in northern Andalia. Fair enough. As you're working, Maester Arlen bursts into your study. Your Grace, you've been up all night. It would be in your best interest to not work so hard, lest you should collapse from exhaustion. Perhaps you are right. I will heed your advice. The realm never rests, so neither will I. Will go for that. He's a good king, despite... Well, he's got the best interests of the realm, isn't he? Right, you will be our new Master of Laws. Where are you? Why can you not... Have we got to wait and accept you properly? Right, now can we make you our Master of Laws? Why can't we make you Master of Laws? We should be able to. You're in our court now. We've got good diplomacy. There's no reason why you shouldn't be our Master of Laws. What's going on here then? She could probably make a good mistress, actually, thinking about it. Okay, so we can't go for her, so we're going to have to go for someone else, but I don't like any of... We're going to have to go with Grand Maester, aren't we? Let's get him to fabricate that claim on Sea God that we, for some reason, can't get. It's taking forever. So that was a waste of time inviting her to court. We could always make her a new mistress, though, so that her journey wasn't completely wasted. And there's a liberation revolt going on in Crackclaw. Let's get our army together and march onto these peasants and put them in their place. Has that epidemic faded? It's faded out of Sevensport. Perfect. So let's open the gates finally. Yes, and that'll hopefully get things back on track. We can host a tournament. We can host a feast. We need to try and get some people on side as everybody hates us. Lord Enger Firehand has secluded himself, so that's going to probably stop our plot to kidnap Lord Theon. Would it... Actually, that's the point. Lord Theon's leading our army. Would we not be able to... A daughter was born to Sir Moribald Rakan as Shara Sevenstar, named Mega Rat. Nice. Yeah, as he's leading our army, would we not be able to kidnap him rather easily now? Well, imprison him rather easily. No, 38% chance. It's annoying. Even if we're leading the army with him? Well, there we go. We've got 2,500 men, so that should be enough to take down this peasant revolt. No problem whatsoever. Our armies have nearly arrived. Oh!
Well, that didn't take too long, did it? My liege, my work in Sea God seems to have come to fruition by bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening, forging documents. I have managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Sea God. Use it. It's going to cost us a lot of money, but use it. Oh no, and your uncle, Prince Enger Sevenstar, has died, and now it falls to you to decide whether to make the funeral a big and special event or just keep it a small private one. My uncle deserves to be honoured with a funeral. Of course he does. He's been such an important character for such a long time. Who will you invite? All the lords and ladies of the realm. My vast... Yes, all the lords and ladies of the realm, which is going to bankrupt us a little bit, but we'll be able to get money from somewhere. Now let's end this peasant revolt so that we can then enjoy our uncle's funeral. Right, let's get Morton Truesword commanding this army as well alongside Lord Theon. And we should be able to end this peasant revolt now pretty easy in the Crannogs of Greycran. The invitation has been sent to all the lords and ladies of the realm. Perfect. And we're not even going to be able to move our Master of Laws, are we? Because we got that claim so quickly. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what food. We'll spend lavishly on food. And we've gained the fat trait. My god, he really is Henry VIII, isn't he? King Enger II is Henry VIII. All we need to do now is divorce or behead our wife, don't we? And get ourselves a couple more wives. And he really is. That's absolutely ridiculous. And we're at 60% in this war. Well, where did the... Ah, there we go, 100%. I'm going to say, where's the army fled to? Offer peace, enforce demands, yes. The peasant revolt for Grey Crannon has ended. Perfect. Right, let's disband that small force of men. Let's deal with the prisoner. Theon. Right. Peasant leader, poor fighter. What should we do with you? Selling... No, we can't sell you into slavery. Put in house arrest, forced marriage. Humiliate. No, we will just execute you, I think. You will be hanged as you're a peasant. They like to save the hanging, don't they, for the lowborn. There we go. Now wait for this feast for our Uncle Owen's funeral. Didn't have the best of ends, did he? His son dying and everything like that, and then his chance of having a castle fading away. I wanted to give him that castle in Sevenstar as a nice retirement gift, but unfortunately, after he was declared incapable, it weren't the case, so we gave it to Lionel's son. So at least one of Enger I's son's line will continue, other than his main branch, of course. Really interested to see how these bastards turn out, though. We've just got an episode. This has been an episode, really, of just forward in time and getting stuff out of the way. Right, Titus Snow needs an educational focus. Wow, he's a skilled fighter already. When did that happen? Perfect. Yes, of course, martial education, send, and we'll spend Hyla, even though it's going to get us in debt. We've got to do it. Lord Tristan II of Strongsong has given me bizarre and repulsive evidence concerning his sexual preferences. How should I use this? We'll keep it to ourselves for now. Melira Fenn has used her attendance at the feast in Sevenstar to present a petition for justice before the court. She claims that Lord Joe Arak had her kingsman, Lord Rawny Josso, murdered. Oh, this happened a long time ago. We get this every feast, and I'm not charging him for it anymore. It's been ridiculous. As the feast begins, Septon Pierce presented a petition before the court. He says that the crime and banditry in the Bloody Gate is increasing threat, and that the local sheriffs cannot contain the problem. He petitions that you send men and coin to eradicate the menace and plague in the area. Fine, I will send Lord Colmore to deal with the problem, of course. Lord Colmore will sort that out. Lord Colmore Sunderland uses attendance at the feast in Sevenstar to present a petition for justice before the court. He claims that Lord Joe Arak had his kingman Jane Josso, who's Jane Snow, was murdered on the orders of Lord Joe. Ah, okay, yeah, that did happen. Wow, when did it happen? At the age of 39, 6, so it's just happened. But yeah, he actually has murdered her. I don't want to arrest him though, so no, he's not guilty. And you Sunderlands, we're a bit corrupt, and we know you Sunderlands are bastards. So Lord Colmore organised a group of men to tackle the bandits and rogues in the Bloody Gate. He successfully captured or killed many prominent criminals and publicly hanged them as an example to others. The problem has now been stamped out, and Septon Pierce is satisfied. Good, gained 25 prestige. Oswin spoke up and told everyone how great the food at my feast was. I was really glad someone was kind enough to say something nice about the food, given how hard I'd worked to ensure that the food was the best part of the feast. Oswin's still hot now, 6 days. He's still going. Damn, he's been around for a long time. The funeral. As the Silent Sisters finish the preparations of the deceased, the body of Owen is brought to the local sept and laid atop the altar. At its centre, canopic jars of ornate design are placed at the feet of the dead, and the eldest child places the death stones upon the closed eyes of the deceased. One by one, those closest to the departed in life make their way into the sept and speak their goodbyes, shed their mournful tears, and pray to the seven for the dead. As the day winds down and the last goodbye is said, the body is carried by kin along the crown-lined streets to its final resting place. As the sun fades away, a great feast is held, and those who knew the dead recount stories of the life and deeds of the lost, and so it is done. We gain 40 piety. We're heavily in debt. Under my guidance, my young bastard daughter Rennie is slowly mastering the art of swordsmanship. Okay, why are we educators? She should have a better guardian. Let's have a look at your traits. Let's assign guardian someone with decent diplomacy. Renella, Lady of Dartmoor. Yeah, let's send you to the Vale to be warded. Why not? Enjoy it down south. Adara asks, if a tree falls in the woods and there's nobody there to hear it, does it make a noise? Good question. You should ponder it on your own. You should concentrate on something useful instead. She gains diligent, hopefully. Perfect. Yes, she gained the diligent trait. Very good trait. Very happy with that. Can we move our diplomat yet? No, we can't. I think I may forward just a little bit of time off screen just to try and forward things along slightly after this episode, just because we've got a bit of a stale time at the moment, obviously, while we're waiting for those claims and waiting for stuff to happen, but we'll see. If we had a bit more money, at least we could have held a tourney or something, but our children are bankrupting us. We need to get some gold from somewhere. I don't really want to take out a loan. We've already got one that we need to repay. There's not really much else that we could do. We could take a loan from a vassal, but we'd lose prestige for that. And Jane Stark died under suspicious circumstances at the age of 21. She does have a son, Wendell Stark, okay. How is Donald doing, actually? Donald Stark. Let's have a look. He's had 4 daughters, wow. But he's doing okay. He's fat as well, so us and him are both fat. How is Lord Enger doing? He's had a 5th daughter. That is absolutely ridiculous. When is he going to get a son? That is crazy. I wonder how some other lords are doing. How is the Richard lad doing, who's our future Master of Laws, hopefully? Samuel Richards, 14 diplomacy at 17, awesome. So hopefully when his education finishes, that's going to get a lot better. I think we will end today's episode here, though, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, as always. I really do appreciate it. I really hope that you have enjoyed. Please, if you did, don't forget to like, comment down below and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon for the next episode of Knights of Andalia. The great sept of Sevensport was filled with a cacophony of whispers. All the lords and ladies of the realm had come for Prince Owen's funeral. The old man had been laid out in the centre of the great building, stones atop his closed eyes, and surrounded by statues of his 7 gods. It had been years since Owen had stepped foot in this building. He had been King Ambrose's ward still. Every week he went here with the royal family. Owen looked around the sept. 7 hells. He even remembered the corner he and Violet would sneak away to avoid the septon. They had simply been friends then. So much had changed once he was a green boy without a hair on his chest, and now he was back bringing his 2 boys to the city he grew up in. He looked at his family. Violet's eyes were red from crying. Uncle Owen had been a second father to her, just as the prince had acted as an uncle to him long before he and Violet had married. His wife had shed many a tear for the old man, just as he had when he first heard the news. Looking at her side, he smiled at his 2 boys, desperately trying to cheer their mother up. Violet noticed his gaze and walked up to him. She gave him a bittersweet smile and brought a hand up to his eye to wipe a fresh tear that had yet to fall. "Everything's different," she murmured. "Aye," he nodded. "We're a lot bigger than we used to be." "A lot older too," she added wearily. "You're as beautiful as you've ever been," Owen replied. Violet gave a light punch to his shoulder heart-heartedly, her eyes warming. She turned and stood alongside him to look at their sons, who were currently gawking at the statue of the stranger. "They've grown up so fast," he said. "Enger's proposed a betrothal for Galbert," Violet said, turning to face her husband. "Who did he have in mind?" Violet studied his face, searching for the right words to say. "Rennie. He wanted to match Galbert with Rennie." Ah, Owen thought. One of his nieces born from one of his good brother's many mistresses. She was a sweet girl, like the rest of Enger's children. She would be a good match for his son. If his eldest was anything like him, he would treat her well. "The court won't be too pleased," Owen said, "betrothing a bastard to a future High Lord." "Aye," his wife replied with a smile, "but we've never been ones to listen." For the first time since they had left the grey cliffs, in what felt like ages, Violet laughed.